Alright guys, welcome back. This is Storm and Knight's Gaming. I'm going to do a crafting prioritization video for you today. This is going to be for the new players and the people just now dipping into PvP. It's currently mid-year mayhem. This is something that I've been wanting to push for a while, but we're going to jump right into it. So, getting on the woodworking, we're going to start off with it first. When it comes to research skills for like bow line users, for PvP, I would either go Nernhoned, Sharpened. That's if you're like Nernhoned, even if you're using it for a heal bar, I would prioritize that. So, if you're wondering what kind of traits you should be learning first, or which ones you want to get next, or, you know, if you're just thinking about dipping into another weapon line, this is the one that you're going to want to use is either Nernhoned or Sharpened. Sharpened if that's going to be your offensive bar, like for bow ganks. Nernhoned is good overall. You know, you can still be an offensive bar, but it can still be a defensive bar as well because Nernhoned increases your heals. Other than that, only other one I could see is using Infused or Defending. If you're using like Poison Injection, Infused is great. It'll constantly proc off your weapon damage enchantment. Defending if you need a little bit more resistances on your back bar, you know, like a Stand Blade, for example, rolling away to get the heal. Other than that, I really don't see running anything else. But we're going to go over the traits real quick for weapon lines, so that way you can kind of see what all the traits do. So powered is going to be increased healing done, right? So let's say we get in here. Let's see if we can improve one. Okay. So Infused, increase your weapon enchantment effect by 20%, reduces enchantment cooldown by 50%. It's always nice. So like, it's going to increase your weapon damage enchantment on there, and it's going to proc more often if you got like Poison Injection on. If you're looking at Precise, it's going to increase your weapon and spell crit by 6.2%. That's on a purple weapon. It's going to go up. Charged, increases your chance to apply status effects by 180%. Nernhoned, you gotta increase your damage, and it says damage, but it also applies to your heals by 14%. Defending, 3161 physical and spell resistance gained when you're on that bar. Powered is going to be a small, like little 3-4%, if I remember right. Increased healing. Training, you're never going to use training in PvP. Please don't use training. Sharpened, they did increase that, so for two-hander based weapons, it's going to be a little more. Decisive is going to be the same. So, looking at, yeah, powered is going to be increased healing done by 4% at purple, and that's on a one-hander. They're going to increase if it's a two-hander, obviously. Sharpened is going to be 3161. Bow counts as a two-hander, so. Other than he's a 5% boost and 4% of gold. Impin, high crit build. Well, fit is a lot of people run because it reduces 6%. You're going to be something that you really want to traits that you're going to use, and that's always been the go-to other than Impin. And if you use jewelry, for example, you know, like robust, arcane if you're a Magicka character, bloodthirsty if you want to dip a little bit more into it. Go into the traits on jewelry. Harmony, I really wouldn't run unless you're like a Mag Necro. Swift, it's been nerfed repeatedly. I really don't think it's worth it anymore. Protective, if I remember right, it got nerfed as well. Infuse is still worth it. Triune is still worth it. That's if you want a more well-rounded build using Triune, but you could easily achieve the same, if not better, by using like Robust or Infused, in my opinion. Healthy is really just kind of a PvE one. I guess if you were doing a health tank, healthy would be alright. Arcane for your magicka based, robust for your stand based. It's gonna go the same, like wherever you do your ring, it's gonna count for both rings, and wherever you do your neck. So you could easily just say, hey, I'm gonna learn infused on here, on my neck, and infused on my rings, and you'll be set up for like 90% of your PvP builds. That's if you're stamina based. If you're mag based, just use arcane, and that's 90% of your builds. For light armor and medium armor, and those are hard to find at this current state of the game, but light armor, a lot of people see them running like M-Pen or well-fitted. Mag sorks are running well-fitted, actually. They're roll dodging into streaks and stuff like that, like, or infused on your big pieces for a little bit more max mag dump. Divines, if you know you're trying to go for the mag blade gank. I really wouldn't even touch Nerd Honed. Medium armor, kind of gonna be about the same. I ran a Divines build on medium armor for a little bit with a high crit build. That's the only reason I could see running Divines on your armor, is if you're doing something like that. Other than that, I would either run like M-Pen or well fitted. They have nerfed M-Pen, so I wouldn't run no more than 2, maybe 3. Hitting into heavy armor. We're going to start with weapons first. So, power 2.5%, charge, precise, infused, defending, training 2.5%. If you're trying to level up a character really quickly, make everything training. That's the only reason I would use training on your armor and your weapons, is if you're trying to level up something or level up a new character. And that will help exponentially. For a one-hander, it's going to be 1409 for your sharpened. You know, it's halved. Decisive, it's a 19.1% gain. That's really nice. You know, it's percentage chance. Yeah, it seems small, but it will prop more often than you think, because it can coincide with like your Nord passives, if you're a Necro, you know, a Warden, a DK, if you're running like any kind of ult gen set, like it's all going to proc off of that. Dipping into the armor, again, it's going to be the same way, except for a lot of people normally in heavy armor are running a sword and board, so you could run like sturdy instead of M-Pen, or like sturdy instead of well-fitted. I still run well-fitted, even on my Stam Warden, who's in heavy armor, because really cuts down on the roll dodges whenever you do have to roll dodge out of combat, you know, and really go defensive. Because sitting there holding block in a proc meta is not going to cut it. Hitting into our skill trees. So, if you haven't got your alchemy leveled up for PvP, do it. All your PvP characters that you have, and even PvE, really need this passive, because running something like immovable potions, this affects it. Your stam recovery and mag recovery bonuses, your health recovery bonuses, all this is affected by it. And it's pretty substantial. You'll get some odd 4 potions per craft and 16 poisons per craft at max. If you want to level this very quickly, just make a lot of poisons, low level poisons, you know, will speed level it super quick, especially during the double XP events, or even if you have a couple of high XP scrolls, you know, just pop one of those and start making poisons, and you'll level up in no time. You can get it done in 5-10 minutes. Blacksmithing, it's going to be A little harder to max this one out, but still decently easy. You can get the inspiration gear and buy a lot of those or deconstruct those from your crafting writs. Crafting writs is another way to level up your crafting skill lines, and it does give quite a substantial boost. But if you're just trying to power level it, deconstructing the inspired armor is the best way to do it. The clothing, gonna be about the same way. Enchanting, best way I found was find a buddy or find someone that you can, you know, pull to the side for a minute, whether it be a random or whatever. Pay him, he'll make a bunch of runes for you, or hell, you can give him all the runes you have yourself in your bag, and he can make them all for you, and then deconstruct them, because it's going to give you even more XP deconstructing a rune from somebody else. Other than that, fastest way for this is crafting writs besides that first method. Jewelry crafting, this one's gonna take you a hot minute, and when it comes to research, I felt like it took longer, so you really want to prioritize what traits you research first in your jewelry if you're going to make a PvP toon. Provisioning, this one's very easy. You can just make a lot of low level stuff, and again, just pop your double XP scroll, or your during the event, pop the consumable, and you'll speed level in no time with this. Woodworking, same as the main crafting lines as well. Use the deconstruction of the inspired materials or crafting writs. Whenever you get into, like, I'm going to consider this a crafting line, but it really isn't. But excavation and scrying, because you have to have these for your mythics. Fastest way I found this was go to Artaeum and just grind a lot of those out, or you can go to each zone and get the new ones and just keep going to each zone. And on top of that, you do get a free 100k, you know, once you do complete every zone's green, blue, and purple. On top of that, it seems like mythics are going to be a new thing that they're issuing out every patch, so what better reason to get them leveled up, you know? Other than that, I think that's about it, guys. That's going to be my crafting priority video for PvP. If you have any questions, or you have a video that you want to see in the future, let me know in the comments below.